Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Odd with your host, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, we're back on Disney and we're hitting their little run of kind of travelogue magazine type
The anthology films.
anthologies, yes, from the 40s. They didn't have the animators, I guess, or the money or whatever to carry on with features
Yeah.
after Bambi. So they went for a slightly different format, and we are covering Saludos Amigos from 1942.
Mm.
We got a bit of a checkered history with this because we started watching. It was my fault. I thought that what was the next film, and halfway through, I thought, I think Saludos Amigos is a sequel to this. And we were watching the Three Caballeros. I checked.
Mm.
Oops, no, the Saludo came first, so we immediately stopped. We were about 40 minutes into that. That's a significant, a bit longer than this. It's about an hour and 10. And we then cycled back to Saludos Amigos, which and we watched it, and they're both
Mm.
very similar. But I have to tell you, I had to watch this again just before recording, so I didn't mix up the two films.
Yeah.
It's my fault. It
They
is
were
my
they were very sort of very similar in some
so.
animation and just
Well, I
general
mean,
editing.
Three Amigos is a sequel. It's Three
Yeah.
Amigos. Three Caballeros is a sequel. So, and it's covering much the same ground. An interesting film because it's live action in places, isn't it? It's like a travelogue
Mm.
showing people in the 40s what other, South bits of South America are like. And I guess back in those days, people didn't do big holidays, did they? They didn't travel around the world. It was
Well,
much
it's
less,
it's
or not
like
many.
what, 10 years post Great Depression.
And the
Like
war's
they're
on
probably,
as well,
yeah, the
right?
war's on at that
Yeah.
point, yeah. But even before that, like
Mm.
economically nowhere's doing really good.
Yeah.
So, like no one can really afford to beyond just getting a house. They can
Yeah.
probably not really afford long travel holidays. But Disney is Disney, so there's loads of money there. So the premise of this is he sent a bunch of animators and himself to South America. So
Yeah, to get some ideas, get some creative
yeah,
ideas, right? That's the premise, and it does start as a like. Well, it starts with a cheerful song, doesn't it? Saludos,
yeah,
amigos. Nice and cheery, colourful opening credits. Fairly simple opening credits. I noticed it was kind of
yeah. It's
just a
mostly just sort
map.
of listing names and put them
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Saludos, amigos, Spanish for hello, friends, or greetings,
Yeah,
friends, right? Um,
yeah,
so various segments, some of them with Donald Duck, which is awesome, and
yeah.
some with Goofy. One with Goofy, and then other animated characters. The most notable of which is Jose Carioca, a
Yeah,
parrot.
yeah. He's a Brazilian parrot.
Anthropomorphized Brazilian parrot. And interestingly, I'm just looking at this. It's premiered in Rio in
Oh,
August
that's neat.
24, which is nice. So it actually premiered in South America before it moved to the US, which was
Mm.
good, quite a bit. February 43, so quite a bit later. Quite a bit later. Um, was a success, which refueled the company somewhat.
Yeah,
So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, what did you think of the film generally?
I quite liked it. I gotta admit the Pedro part was probably the weakest of the parts, but that's because it was original original character as opposed to hey, here's Donald Duck doing a thing, hey, here's Goofy doing a thing, and
Yeah,
not a song. It's a
I,
weird little thing of a plane delivering mail.
Yeah, interestingly, I had already seen that because I'm slowly working through chronologically the Disney shorts.
Hmm.
And that was actually a separate short as well. I don't know what came first. I don't know if the film came first or the short came first. It was integrated into film. I don't know. It might be as I go through Wiki while we're talking, I might actually find out. But yeah, but also I saw the Goofy one as a short as well, the Goofy section.
Hmm.
So I kind of knew some of these before we watched it. However, I've seen Saludos Amigos a few years ago, but I had seen it before. But it does merge with the other films somewhat, so it's nice to rewatch and get a clearer
Yeah.
idea. So it was, yeah, it's a film of segments, right? So it starts. I had to make notes because there's quite a lot going on in this, right?
Yeah.
Basically, we see them getting on the plane, right?
Yeah.
A propeller, a passenger craft, amazing. What
Yeah.
did you notice? I don't know if you
Big, like,
noticed
bright
this.
silver
Yeah, bright
passenger car.
silver. I like a comment.
Yeah.
Did you know? I don't know if you picked this up, but they basically they were getting in North America and flying south,
Yeah.
and then the narrator said 3 days later they were over
Oh,
in Brazil. It's like 3 days.
yeah.
Wow,
Did not
them
spot, did not catch that.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's some long flight, right?
Yeah.
I assume they kept landing and overnighting and so on or something because there's no way they were flying for 3 days. There must have been something else going on there. Um, and they have quite a nice graphic of the South America. They show the Andes and they actually talk about half the staff went one way towards like over the Andes to Chile, and the other went to the land of the Incas, which is like Bolivia and that. Um, and then we get a bit of comedy.
Yeah. Link to
Well,
Titicaca.
well, before that, we get some live action footage of like the people that live in Bolivia with their, ponchos and hats,
Mm.
and it looks like a fairly desolate but sunny place, but kind of barren. Uh, there's the bits we
Yeah.
saw, but yeah, it's interesting. And then they had for some reason the film was slightly speeded up to give it comic effect with
Yeah.
comedy music, so it was kind of a bit patronising, but it was fine. Um,
Yeah.
but then we get a segment like you say, Lake Titicaca
Yeah.
Carca, with Donald Duck visiting the lake and hearing the narrator talking to Donald, just like, some
Yeah.
visitors can get sick from the high altitude because it's several thousand feet above sea level or something. Um, so old Donald's kind of saying, "Ah, phooey," but then looking ill and things like that, right? But we have a great. I really like this section with him and the llama trying to
Yeah.
cross the
Well, they,
footbridge.
yeah. Well, you could get the introduction with the llama with the little boy with the panpipes.
Oh yeah,
And he demonstrates how he can, with certain notes, he gets the llama to move in a certain way, and then Donald tries and screws it up, and it goes terribly.
and they
So,
end up on a footbridge across a massive sort of chasm, right? And
mm,
slowly the slats are disappearing, and we get a comedy section where, as the llama's walking, Donald's putting a plank in front of it at a time, right? A bit like they did in Tom and Jerry when things like that. Or in fact, I think I saw it in was it in one of the Wallace and Gromits where he's laying track on a train just before the train.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's
So
wrong trousers.
yeah, it's a comic staple. This is that bit above the on the suspension bit also made me think of it. It feels like Roadrunner and that were and Wile E. Coyote. I'm sure they got bits like that and was kind of ripping this off. I always like Donald Duck. Donald Duck's my favourite of those, types. I really like Donald Duck. He's my favourite. When
Mm,
he loses his shit is the funniest thing, goes red.
yeah,
Yeah, and steam comes out of his ears. It's really fun. Yeah, but it's kind of throwaway, but it's fine. um, riding that llama over the bridge just never worked out
yeah.
well. Yeah, they end up falling in the sea, I think, or in
Well,
the
they
lake.
fall in the
No, in the
lake,
lake. What am I saying?
so
The lake. Yeah, of course.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So that was all right. Yeah, and then we get the segment you've already mentioned, the Pedro, where he's, daddy. They carrying him out over the Andes. It's important they keep up the service, but for some reason, Mum and Dad are not feeding up to it, and I can't remember why.
yeah. If,
It's,
if I remember, it's the dad's job, and he's ill.
he's ill,
Uh,
and the mum won't do it. So
it's a
Pedro,
it's a 40s cartoon. It's
yeah,
like, well, little Pedro will have to step up and be the man of the hour. Doesn't really need to,
there's a
but
bit
hey
of
ho.
that. So he has to
Yeah.
go over the scary Andes where there's a certain mountain,
Yeah,
um,
there's
which
a
is
menacing mountain that just threatens him.
looks evil,
It's
right?
completely not animated, like it's just like a matte painting.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah, I like the artwork in this. It was more simple
yeah.
than what we used to, but I kind of liked it. Pedro was kind of fun. Um, so um, so basically he gets lost in the fog, and they think he
Mm,
doesn't make it, and there's this sort of
This bit I did
follow down
like
the
because
high
it
streets.
they really like leave it until the last possible second of the
Yeah,
show.
like
It's
you
like,
think he's
nah,
dead. You think he's dead, but he turns
sorry,
up.
he turns out he didn't make it for little Pedro. Another
Yeah,
one lost to the mountains. Oh, he's okay. Next thing. So,
uh,
oh,
yeah, but he turns up, and it turns out he was only carrying one letter.
yeah,
For all of that. I'm just looking at Wiki. It says this was released by RKO, funnily,
yeah,
as a separate short in the theaters in 1955. So it was
yeah.
Sopranos
So yeah,
short.
that's why you've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was dated in the list I was looking at from the 40s. But doesn't really matter.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
you probably saw it on some sort of like RKO compilation thing.
yeah.
You had a lot of
Uh,
like old movie stuff out when you were a kid, so yeah,
Yeah, and then the next section, we see a live kind of well, it goes to
yeah,
Argentina. We see a bit of Buenos Aires looking great, I have
yeah.
to say,
It's a
because
really
it's
pretty town.
yeah, not many cars as well back in the 40s, so
Yes,
very
yes,
nice, very nice. And then we cut to gauchos in like a rodeo, the sort of South American.
yeah. So they take him to what looks kind of like a basically a massive barbecue.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
all these
yeah.
animators are sitting around drawing as the gauchos dance.
Dancing,
They do
we
all
have the
these different
dancing
dancing,
gauchos.
singing, like all the music playing. The way they cook meat is really kind of funny. They just put
Yeah,
it
they
on a
love a
big,
bit of steak, don't they? They
they
do love a bit of steak.
put like a big knife through it and put it up, hang it over the fire. And when it comes time to actually eat it, they just take the knife out of the fire, leave the meat on the knife, and then slowly slice bits off it with another knife.
Yeah, lots of knives.
Really good. Yeah,
And then we cut to Goo. Basically, for some reason, it then goes to they're a bit like American cowboys, and then we go to
yeah.
Goofy,
Goofy in Texas.
Texas. But then he zooms across and becomes a gaucho, and we see
Yeah,
him his
you see the
outfit appear
assembly of like their outfits. It's
with
like,
all
oh, you
the
got this and this and this and this, and you'd wear these and stirrups, which they call this there,
yeah.
sort of thing.
It and yeah, we also get a lesson in how they eat their meat. They basically
Yeah,
bite a bit of
as I
steak off.
described. So,
Yeah, yeah, bite a steak off, then a bit of bread, right? And backwards and forwards, like waving it in their hands, backwards and forwards, while they eat it a bit at a time between the bread and the steak. And apparently, South American
mm,
steaks are famously good. So yeah, fine. Um, so we have a bit of fun with Goofy and his spurs as well, jangly spurs. I'm trying to remember what else happened in it.
uh, so they do a lot of the sort of singing and dancing. It's like a sort of cultural
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
Because so
yeah,
the other parts, it's just like looking after cows. Like, yeah, that's the boring part of the work.
yeah,
But yeah, they show off a lot of the dancing moves. So it's like it's oh, I can't remember the name of it, but there's one where the narrator's like, it's all the work done in the southern hemisphere. And
yeah.
it's like you sort of hold yourself still and your legs go nuts.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. It's all waist downwards, right? Yeah, it's kind of fun. We also have Goofy's got. They show him using the bolos, right? There's
mm,
the leather
yeah,
wrapped lead
the
balls, right? And he's chasing what is basically a South American ostrich, but it hasn't got a tail. It's a bit different from
mm,
a regular ostrich, so it's easy to like get the legs with bolos and truss it up
yeah,
really fast. We also get some comedy stuff with his horse, where he shows he can convert his saddle into a bed. So he's
yeah,
lying on his horse like it's a bed, and the horse is like a bed, and he immediately flips on his back, flattens Goofy into the ground. But he's lying there. Yeah, so we have some kind of fun with Goofy, right? So that's I enjoyed that bit. Apparently,
yeah. That was a fun one.
it was released at one time, but they had to edit. They cut it because he
Oh,
it
okay.
was smoking. He was smoking. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah.
I get
So
that.
yeah. But I think the version we watched, he was. We was smoking, wasn't he? I'm sure he was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the final part's kind of the standout of it, where like it's the longest segment as well. But
Yeah.
here's where we go to Brazil,
Whereas
and you get to yeah, go to
and
Rio.
and we see him like painting or drawing a parrot, and then that transforms
Yeah,
into Jose karaoke, singing the
Yeah,
song Brazil, which is interesting because I assume this song was from like a 30s musical, but it turns out it was released in the 30s, wasn't very successful, but with this film, it
mm,
became really popular. And it's a famous song. I
yeah,
mean, there's a film called Brazil, which some of the film is about the fact that this guy's living in a horrible place. We'll have to watch it sometime. But the
mm,
song Brazil makes him cheerful. It makes him think of better places. So it infuses that film too. But yeah,
mm,
really cool. And basically, they do a load of stuff about in Brazil. They like the samba, and we see
yeah,
crowds dancing, and then we see Jose Carioca showing Donald what's going on.
yeah. You get to see like it's basically Jose showing Donald around, showing him the food, the drinks, the
Yeah,
nightlife,
yeah.
sort of thing.
And then there's
So
crash ending. It just crash
yeah,
ended. Now this was only 40 minutes. It barely qualifies as a film, really.
yeah.
I thought it was worth talking about because it's quite interesting. It basically
Oh,
powered up Disney again, right? It was so
yeah,
popular, they got their money back and they started churning out similar stuff. Um, and it wasn't until I think 1950 they got back, or maybe 48, they got back to features. I guess after the
yeah.
war,
So I
when
think yeah. So
I mean, there's 4 or 5 things we're going to be talking about before we get into what are the standard Disney animated classics, as it were.
yeah. So I think
But
the next like proper animated classic is Cinderella.
Cinderella,
Yeah.
or if it depends if you include Ichabod and Mr. Toad, which is
See, I'd
two
still call that
short.
one of the anthology films.
Yeah, it's two
So
separate stories, completely
yeah.
separate stories, but they're both quite long. So yeah.
Yeah, so we got five
Yeah,
movies
we got a number. We got
and
a
then
number of them.
Cinderella, so
But
five more movies.
I'm kind of still looking forward to getting through them. It's kind of interesting because not many people talk about these films or even watch them again. This is on Disney Plus, so you can catch it there. Um, yeah, so we both watched it on Disney Plus. Well, I'm sure he was smoking on it. Sure, Goofy was
Hmm.
smoking on it, but maybe I'm misremembering. Um,
Yeah, because
but
I know Disney is weirdly stringent about smoking in its films now,
mm,
but also I know they're really stringent about editing old pictures of Walt Disney to get rid of his cigarettes. But
right.
he's also there's footage of him and he's smoking in it. So
Has
I
he
think
got a
they either
pipe? He's got a pipe in
no
it.
no no
Oh, it's
cigarettes.
cigarettes. Okay, my
Yeah,
mistake. Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe they're a bit more relaxed.
yeah.
Um, it's not like cigarettes are really. Well, I don't know. I was going to say they're much less common now, aren't they? And I don't know.
I'd say probably not. Like they're
Maybe
probably
not.
about as common as they were.
Mm,
So
okay. Yeah. So it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. I quite like the Travelog Live stuff because it was kind of interesting to see. But it
mm,
was played for comedy, really. Whenever anyone from South America was on the screen, it was slightly speeded up and a bit
yeah.
abstracted. But yeah, um, and I really like the song Brazil. And he did
Mm.
another whistly song that sounded really familiar. And that's Brazil.
Oh, Tika
Uh,
Tika and Fuba.
that's the one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that too. That was kind of fun. It was basically a jolly film, right?
Yeah.
Um, and quite
It was a jolly
enjoyable.
short film, very easy to watch, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I watched it twice.
It is like it's at a point where it's like if you didn't like the segment, just put it on your phone and a new one will be on in like 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
yeah. And I'm kind of glad Donald turned up twice, actually. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I quite like the Goofy one. It's just my person. I mean, who's your favourite out of them all? Is
Of
it
the Disney classic
the
characters
main
or just
characters?
of
Yeah,
these?
yeah. No.
Probably Donald or Goofy. I'm gonna be frank.
I do
Goofy I
like
like a
Goofy.
lot more. Though the newer Mickey Mouse cartoon has really endeared to me, but he doesn't really act like the classic Mickey Mouse.
No,
So
no, they're way better. Mickey's way better in the more
yeah.
recent stuff. Yes, yeah. I mean, the only real stand up for me in this early stuff is, and probably the only appearance actually is Fantasia, right? I think.
Hmm.
Have I got that
In the
right?
movies, yes.
Yeah, yeah, in the movies.
But he'd have been like a fairly well populating
Yeah,
the
in shorts, yeah, yeah. All right then. Let's rate it. What would you give this?
I would give this a fairly easy 8. It's a really quick watch and it's nice and fun
Yeah,
to do so.
yeah, I'd say it's a 4 out of 5 for me. So same sort of score. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It was fun, easy going. Right,
Hmm.
it made you smile. That's probably the best because I enjoyed it and it was fun, and it kind of washes over you. There's no story really. I mean, in the segments a bit, but it's more comedy really, isn't it?
Hmm.
Okay, let's wind it up there. So bye from me.
Bye.